Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bahrain Now. I'm your host, Baraa Abdulla, and we're here to shed light on the country's top initiatives, talents, and trends. Stay tuned with more coming up right here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to open a business, manage it, or even save it, we have a superhero that goes by the name of محمد الرفاعي. Welcome to the studio.
Hi, Baraa.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, man, good. So, what's been going on in the business field so far?
Well, the business field actually fluctuating a lot recently, and because of the COVID-19 and everything, a lot of people are opening up, closing down. We see a lot of people raising, a lot of people falling.
Right.
We see that the business, a lot of people saying it's don't start now, and a lot of people say it's the best opportunity to start.
Time.
So it's actually based on the perspective of what kind of business that you're gonna go into. So I think in the last few years, everything was stable to a point that everyone thought, hey, it's time to start. So we saw a lot of rise in small businesses such as food trucks, coffee shops, etc. But in the last year, everyone got scared and everyone started running and fleeing out of the market. Because of that, we saw a lot of a new opportunity that start to raise. For example, the delivery fleets, which will deliver the item from the online shop to the business owner or to the houses, or for example, the online education, because a lot of people had lost the way of communicating with each other. They don't know how, from where they can learn. So we saw a lot of people starting their entrepreneurial journal that, hey, let me start a website, let me try to educate, let me teach what I can teach. I'm good in Photoshop, I'm good on, let's say, communicating. Let me start my online courses. So we saw a lot of rise and fall during that period, but mostly what we saw that technology had took hold of everything that we had.
It got accelerated in the last few years.
It was accelerated.
Even last year, it took like a great takeoff.
Some researchers said if you can, they said the vision that we had for technology in 2028, which is 7 years ahead from now, we reached it in 1 year.
Yes.
But other fields that really got pushed behind because it got like logistic, it had a lot of technicality issues with the close down and everything. But in technology-wise, we jumped 8 years ahead. Who thought that in this year we can have the online classes from home, or that we can at least communicate, have a meeting throughout wherever what we want to do, or you can meet someone in the US by a phone call and have a business meeting. Everyone wanted to go to the seminar. Now the seminar has become online, the webinar and everything. So yeah, business has accelerated with the growth of and the rise of the technology itself.
You know, for a really good time, you've been giving a lot of advices on your Instagram page, and it's been growing phenomenally. But we just noticed, like last year, you've been having your Sherlock Holmes hat, and you're like solving problems left, right, and center. Everybody's like going to you and others, but a lot of heat has been going to your side. You know, asking you is like, how can we solve this? How can we save our businesses? So what can you say about that? The
issue with most people that how they can save their businesses because they didn't know how to adapt. So mostly people who come to me are people in business for 30 or 40 years. They see small businesses, they just started for 2 years or 3 years, they can take most of their client and they can't even do anything about it. They can't even compete with the small businesses. He said, this is he's as young as my kid, and he doesn't have experience. He's only 3 or 4 months into the market. Why all my customer goes to him? Because most of the old businesses they have 6 or 7 employees, and those 6 or 7 employees are replaced with one small technology or one small application that they're gonna use in their website. So the small businesses have a time to compete, and they know the nature of the client that they had. For example, if you're gonna talk about training institutions, most of them they start dying. A lot of businesses that work in the tourism or they work in the industry of, let's say, events, they didn't know how to adapt. But others, they start making the events online, they try to sell e-tickets, they start to do something else. So a lot of people, when they lack the adaptability to change to the new way of business, they're here where they start losing their businesses. So we try to figure out how can we bump money, how can we shift it, how can we enhance it, automate it. But a lot of them, they want to work in the traditional way. They say, no, I don't believe in this kind of technology. I don't understand it. I don't know how to deal with it. So I will need to hire a whole team of a new advisor, tech people, we say, no, you don't need that. You just need to learn it a little bit. So a lot of people, when they come to me, this is the main issue. Or before, we can just order things from outside, resell them, put a markup on the price. I got it for 20 BD, I will sell it for 60 BD, and that's it. I got it for 2 BD, I will sell it for 3 BD, and I'm good. The shipment is stopped, everything is stopped. They didn't know how to adapt. Hey, where can I buy my things? Why don't you manufacture them? So we found a small solution. You can manufacture your own things here. You can start a new line of business, a new line of track, and then they see, oh, there is a lot of profit in it. And now, even when everything opened up again, they didn't want to go to their old ways. They started adapting the new business.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting what you've been saying. So you're telling me that a lot of, let's say, startups outperform traditional businesses because of their adaptability and flexibility.
Yep. Mostly yes, and because they know how to use the technology way better than the old businesses, and they are up to the idea that they're gonna do everything by themselves. So they cut back on the operational cost. They don't need to hire, and they don't need big spaces. They don't need to rent a huge space to accommodate all these employees. So before, if we can, 10 years ago, I'm gonna say the minimum you can start a business is 10,000 BD. Now they just pay the 210 BD fees for Sijilli, and they can start their own business from their home. Once it grows, they will shift to a new office, which will cost them 80 BD monthly, and then they're gonna grow from there. They don't have to have the 10,000 BD to start any business right now.
Okay.
So here is the shift. That's why there is a lot of new entrepreneurs coming to the market. They don't have the capital, but they can also start.
Amazing. So let's say now, which we are noticing it, a lot of startups, a lot of things have been going on. And you had a really good place, evidently, to serve them with your offers and services. So what do you do right now, besides being a consultant?
What do I do? Mostly the consultation always is the first drop in the bucket. So if you come to me and you say, hey, I want one of your services, if you don't know me well, you will not take one of my services.
Okay.
So I built up my personal brand around, hey, I can help everyone and I don't want anything in return. So people start coming to me, can you give us a consultation? What you said is really, I think, what is the issue I have in my company. Can you give me a consultation? After the consultation, they say, hey, I don't know how to start. Can you give me an action plan? How can I start it? So we start writing this study, how to market, the marketing strategy, the feasibility study. Starting writing down how they should work, how it should work, or how, let's say, other people or other countries are adapting to this kind of business or this kind of field. Here where we started. But then we saw another issue. The other issue was, I give them the action plan, but they don't know how to execute it.
Okay.
Because the execution is the hardest part of any business.
Right.
So we started a new company, we call it Enchantment, that only execute the plan if they have it. So they come to me and say, hey, Muhammad, I want to open a coffee shop, but I have zero knowledge. I say, how much do you have? You say, I have 15,000. I tell you, okay, give me 2,000 of those 15, and I will open the coffee shop with my knowledge and everything, with the 13,000. So you're just gonna come, take the business ready-made, and you can run it. Or we can also help you on operating it. After the 4 months, I will teach you how to price it, how to deal with employees and deal with everything. So people saw this opportunity, not just for us to open their businesses, but they say, I am an employee, I'm a full-time employee, I don't have time, I have a dream, I have money, but I don't have time, I like that time. Can you hold my active company, or can you open the company and run it forever, and I will just take the money and I will give you my ideas, you just execute it. You do all the execution, I will do the thinking, I will do the capital. So we started doing that, and it's really boomed. So we started 2020 with 3 employees, and now we are 16 employees.
Amazing.
Yeah. So this year has really shifted us, because we helped a lot of small businesses, they helped us back, and we try to reach to a point where we can do all the services that any business need. So if anyone asks me, what do you do? I will say, whatever you need in terms of services for your business, I can do it. So this is what we did.
Beautiful. So now we noticed last year, right, when it comes to the word business, 70% to 80% we saw the rise of food trucks and restaurants, you know, mobility and all that kind of stuff. What can you say about that?
There is an issue whenever there is a lot of business open in the same field, that they start eating the market share. The market share is like, let's say, a cake.
Right.
That cake, if there is only 2 in the market, they're gonna eat half and half. The more you open, the more you eat from the market share to reach to a point that you're gonna eat less than 1% of the market need.
Okay.
So what happens is they start with a new idea, out of the way idea. It's amazing, but it's not functional. You can't sell it. The normal burger will cost you, let's say, 300 fils. What they do with, they put a lot of sauces, good meat, and everything. It costs them 1.5 BD. They they want to sell it. No one will buy it for 4 BD or more. So they have to sell it for 2 BD, 500 fils profit. They can't sell enough. It takes them a lot of time. So they can't operate really in the business. So after 1 year, you're gonna see them closing down. Another food truck opens up.
Right.
Because the rest of the people, they don't know what goes inside the food truck, so they think it's a good business. So everyone say, hey, let me start a food truck. All of them are successful because there is a lot of them. The issue is you enter a market, you don't know what you're gonna do. If you're gonna open a traditional food, let's say just a chicken nugget, you're gonna fry something, it's gonna work.
With corn and stuff like that.
It's gonna work, but if you're gonna do something out of the ordinary, it won't. Even if it did, it's gonna be a trend. It's gonna start on the top, then it will fall down because no one will want to buy it from you again. You will try with market to raise it back up, but you will never reach to the point that you start with. So they see that it's a failing business. That's why when you go to any road with a lot of food trucks, you're gonna see on sale.
Which unfortunately we saw a lot of those. Now you are known to be bold with your advices, especially when you go on your Insta stories. You just give it as it is, straightforward, no filters. So what advice would you give to people who just want to start up a business?
If you want to start up, learn. You can't start up a business without learning all the aspects of business. You need to understand how to manage if you're going to have employee. You need to understand your numbers. Without the numbers, without understanding the account, you can't even start your business. If you say, I'm going to cut costs by not having a website or by not having this system, you're going to lose. You need to learn every aspect of business before starting. You are spending 5,000 from your money. Take a year, take 3 months, sit back, take 1,000 of this 5, educate yourself before starting and losing all your money. Because it hurts when I see people that throws 10,000 or 15,000 out of loan on a business that can't survive for 1 year. Because they don't want to hear advice, they don't want to hear anyone around them. They will just go with the friend that he claimed that he already won in a business, or a friend that seems to know things about business. They will just hear his advice and try to do it without asking anyone. And that's why they start to fail. Just educate yourself before starting any business.
And
any field.
We have the internet, we have everything.
You don't need to pay anyone. You don't need anyone. Just open YouTube, just surf it, go through it. That's it.
Amazing. Now, last year, I'm sure it's been like an eye-opener for you in a lot of ways. What did you notice the most out of the Bahraini market when they approached you for consultations and advices?
Well, most of them, they try to do something new. And I think most of them start to open up to the idea that I need to structure myself. So I thought, let's say 2 years ago, no one was structuring his company. This year, they saw that anyone that open a company without the right structure, the right, let's say, paperwork, they don't have a partnership agreement between partners, they don't have a system, they don't have anything, they say that they can't even survive. So my eye-opener was, only if you're gonna stay working in your business, you don't just open it and keep the employees running it. If you're gonna stay in your business, run it by yourself, understand all aspects of it, build the right infrastructure for it, then this is you will start to adapt. This is the only 3 ingredients you need to succeed in your business.
Amazing. I mean, I can tell you can speak forever. There's a lot of experiences that you've been through and a lot of things. And I still remember the days where you were doing events, applications, doing everything. And now today you are, let's say, a very well-known, established entrepreneur and consultant. There's a lot to be asked here, but you know, one last thought. What would you give to your viewers?
I would say, don't put yourself short and say that you can't do it. You can always do it, and don't seek perfection, because that's the only thing that will keep you back from actually realizing your dream and reaching it.
Amazing. For your full potential, right?
Yes.
So anybody can approach you for any advice and consultations, right? With Muhammad Rafai. We're calling you the superhero here. That's for sure, and you earned it.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Muhammad, for being with us here on Bahrain Now.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, do you want to open up, save, or manage your business? محمد الرفاعي with us right here. Stay tuned for more happening on Bahrain Now.